ये कार्यक्रम महादेव देसाई के ऊपर है। महादेव देसाई एक ऐसे व्यक्ति थे जिन्होंने गांधी जी के पल पल को नोट किया, गांधी जी का परिचय हमसे करवाया और मतलब उनके समय के बाद वो लिखा हुआ हमें मिला या उनकी जीवन शैली कैसी रही, इससे अगर हम परिचित हुए तो ये महादेव देसाई के ही द्वारा किया गया। तो आज उनके जीवन पे, उनकी यात्रा और उनके प्रयासों पे रोशनी डालने के लिए हमारे बीच में प्रभा जी, मैं उनका हार्दिक स्वागत है, अभिनंदन। और उनका परिचय देने के लिए हमारे बीच में डीन रिसर्च गीता धर्मपाल है। मैं उनसे निवेदन करता हूं कि उनका परिचय हमसे साझा करें। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद दीपक भाई, and I would like to welcome all of you. It's really nice to see you all here in this very nice airy seminar room. This is going to be a seminar and it's taking place in English. So if there's something you don't understand, just please ask. I would like to welcome all of you and also a special guest of ours who's come from Bangalore, Bharat Murthy, just for a couple of days. He's from the Shrishti Manipal Institute of Art, Design and Technology, Bangalore. I welcome all the new PG, I was going to call you PhD students, PG diploma students, and also members of our dedicated GRF team. Thank you very much for participating in this special seminar. So as Research Dean of the GRF, it's my privilege to briefly introduce to you this evening's speaker, Professor Prabha Ravishankar, a distinguished historian whom we are honored to host as a residential research fellow at the Gandhi Research Foundation at the Gandhi Tirth since the beginning of July. And this evening, I should also particularly like to extend a special welcome to her husband, Shri Ravishankar, who is visiting the GRF for a day. Professor Prabha Ravishankar brings with her a wealth of knowledge, having over 28 years of teaching experience as professor of history at colleges in Mumbai, particularly at the SNDT Women's University, and at present she is teaching at the Center for Postgraduate Studies of the MDSMC. Now you can all guess what this stands for, but I will tell you just in case you don't know. It's the MD Shah Mahila College of Arts and Commerce. It's an affiliated college of the SNDT, and that is where she is at present and where she's taken leave to be with us here as a research fellow. Yet besides her pedagogic accomplishments, she is also a recipient of several prestigious awards, such as the Phadke Puruskar for the best dissertation in history at the University of Mumbai in 1993. So that was quite a while ago. So she was really quite a talented young doctoral student. She is also a recipient of several national fellowships and travel grants. I won't name them all because otherwise I'll be talking instead of her. And moreover, she has authored numerous publications, including half a dozen impactful books and more than 50 articles. And one of our team members, Anilesh Bhai, he did an internet search and posted cover titles of 4 of these publications on our WhatsApp, Gandhi Tirth WhatsApp group. But I think all of you may not be in the WhatsApp group, so let me just read some of the titles so that you get an understanding about the breadth of her research. One of the first titles is The British Committee of the Indian National Congress, that was published in 2011. Then followed The Jarvis Brothers and Their Contribution to Modern Scientific Education in the Bombay Presidency, that was published in 2014. Then another monograph, G.A. Natterson and National Awakening. He was a very important publisher and a close friend of Gandhiji. Then another book, another monograph on John Briggs. He was a very important British civil servant. That was published in 2016. And then the last publication is perhaps one of the most important for us. It's called The Pollocks and Mahatma Gandhi, A Unique Relationship, and that was published in 2019. A number of these books are in our library, and we hope to acquire the remaining books and also the forthcoming publications that you produce. But one distinguishing feature of Professor Prabha's meticulous research is that she has the talent for uncovering the real gems, Ratna, from India's recent history relating to the late colonial period and the freedom struggle. And today she is going to present before us one such gem. One could call it a real diamond, Hira, namely Shri Mahadev Desai, who had the privilege to be Mahatma Gandhi's long-serving secretary and functioned as his right hand, both literally and metaphorically speaking, but more specifically for 25 years, from 1917 until his untimely death in 1942 at the age of 50, only 50, Mahadev Bhai was Gandhiji's closest assistant and the person Gandhiji trusted implicitly to help and support him in everything he did. Professor Prabha, in presenting to us the story of Mahadev Desai's life, absolutely dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi, will not only reveal to us the extraordinary qualities of Mahadev Desai, but thereby also highlight the magnetic personality, the ability to attract, the magnetic personality of Gandhiji, who had the gift of attracting some of the most brilliant personalities of the 20th century. And just think of remember his correspondence with Einstein, Albert Einstein. And foremost among his close contacts who were with him, who was able to attract to his ashram, is Shri Mahadev Desai, as Professor Prabha is going to reveal. And lastly, we are delighted that she has been able to find many precious documents in the GRF, helped by Ashok Chowdhury, our librarian, and she will be working in the archive maybe next week, so that she can complete her meticulous research on Mahadev Bhai. For this is invaluable. His invaluable contribution to our freedom struggle is truly deserving of widespread recognition. And through this research, we could say that Bade Bhao's, the founder of the GRF, Shri Bhavanlal Jain's dream of the GRF becoming a premier research institute is coming true gradually, the first steps. So we are excited to delve with Professor Prabha into the life of Mahadev Bhai, the man who seemingly managed an entire secretariat single-handedly. Because she's going to talk about Mahadev Desai, his dates 1892 to 1942, as you see here, a complete secretariat. So he's handling a secretariat single-handedly. So let's give Professor Prabha Ravishankar a warm round of applause and get ready to learn how one man could do the work of an entire government department, a complete secretariat.
Thank you, Professor Geeta Dharampal ji, for your kind words. A very big scholar of Gandhi and Gandhian economics is in the chair, and I hope I live up to the expectation of both of you as well as the entire audience. Respectful chairperson, members of the Jain family, Professor Sudarshan Iyengar ji, Udit ji, Nitin ji, and the librarian Ashok Chowdhury ji, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, learned colleagues, Sir Abdul ji, learned colleagues, staff of the GRF, other staff of the Gandhi Tirtha, and my dear student friends. Thank you very much, first of all, to the GRF for providing me with a very useful fellowship, residential fellowship for 3 months, though at the moment I've come only for 1 month, and I must say that there cannot be a better place for serious studies than this Gandhi Tirtha in Jalgaon. I have visited all over India, but to be very honest with you, this is the biggest and best maintained center as far as Gandhi Center is concerned. Today, the research that I have been doing for the last 3 years, especially in the last 1 month here, I have been able to collect some valuable material of Mahadev Desai, and I would like to present in the limited time that has been allotted to me. I understand sir told me 40 to 45 minutes and then we'll have an interaction, and I hope to present in a nutshell the important achievements of Mahadev Desai, particularly his interpretation of Mahatma Gandhi's ideas and ideals, and also his contribution to our Indian nation as well as to the freedom struggle as such. Modern history describes Mahadev Desai as an able secretary, but as Geeta Madam has already pointed out, and in my opinion too, he has done a lot of work which goes far beyond that what is a secretary, an ideal secretary that is understood in the common sense of the term. Let me take you all back slightly towards the year 1942. The place is Birla House in Bombay. The date is 8th August 1942. AICC meeting has taken place in the Govalia Tank Maidan, and Gandhi in the Congress, All India Congress Committee passed the resolution that they will now launch what is called the Quit India movement, Do or Die movement, Jio ya Maro movement by Gandhi. There was a lot of excitement in the air, and towards the evening there was also a lot of rumors when people started talking that Gandhi is likely to be arrested. But Gandhi was very confident he will not be arrested, and he told the same to all the people who were living with him in the Birla House. Said that I have given the best explanation to Lord Linlithgow and there is no way that I will be arrested. Then what happened? On the dawn of the next day, that is 9th August, the police party barged into the welcome madam. Yeah. The police party barged into the Birla House, and then they immediately issued warrant for the arrest of not only Mahatma Gandhi but also Mahadev Desai, Mirabai, Meera Behan, popularly called as Sarojini Naidu, and also the other leaders of the national movement such as Nehru, Sardar, Vallabhbhai Patel and others. They had a plan to take up group to another prison and one group to the Aga Khan Palace prison in Pune. I got a beautiful words written about what was happening from Mahadev Desai's only son, known as Babla, as a pet name, but better known as Narayan Desai. Till today we have Narayan Desai's biography on Mahadev Desai, plus his grandson, that is the son of Narayan Desai, Nachiketa Desai, has recently brought out and a small book on Mahadev Desai as a frontline reporter or as a journalist, whom Professor Sudarshan Iyengar sir is editing that book, I understand. Babla, that is Narayan Desai, is saying that while I was packing my Kaka's bag, you will be wondering who is Kaka. Babla says that Bapu is my father because I call him Bapu, and Mahadev Desai I call him Kaka so that people don't get confused. So he says that as I was packing the baggage of my Kaka, that is his father, he just asked his father, Kaka, shall I put some blank sheets for you because you are very fond of writing? Look at the reply of Mahadev Desai. Mahadev Desai says, you don't need to do any such thing. He was already worried. You don't need to do any such thing. Bapu's fast is hanging on my head. If he fasts this time, the British government may let him die. The British government may let him die. I am not going to live to see all this. I don't even know whether I will last for a week. I don't even know whether I will last for a week. This was the last sentence uttered by Mahadev Desai before his arrest. He planted a kiss on the forehead of his only son and then went into the car. Babla says, Papa, don't talk like that. And Narayan, the others went away in the prison. They were taken to the Aga Khan palace. Now, let us come back to whom all this happened and how this happened. So, I give a brief talk about who was Mahadev Desai. Mahadev Desai was the son of Haribai Desai and Ichhaben, a very devoted, cultured and refined family and parents who belonged to the Dihen village of the Surat district. Mahadev Desai was born in 1892 on the first day of 1892, and he was very much pampered and affections were poured on him for the simple reason that he was born after the death of the first three children during their infancy. Mahadev Desai grew up. Father wanted to give him the best of the best education. He was sent to the Surat school. He passed the Surat school in matriculation with a first rank, and then he comes to Bombay, completes his BA and MA from Bombay, and then he also qualifies with a law degree. As he was growing up, Mahadev Desai knew how much his parents had done for him. So he doesn't want to be a burden to his father. So what he does is that he enters into some job. He becomes a translator in the Oriental Translator's Office, and then for some time he became the inspector in the cooperative societies, and later on he also became a secretary to the Jamnadas, who was there in Bombay, a small politician. And then he comes to Ahmedabad because by the time his father has retired, and he thought that two establishment will be costly, so he comes to Ahmedabad to support his family. As a student, we have an account of Kishorilal Mashruwala, who was one of the earliest to join Gandhi. In Bombay, Mahadev Desai has already met his best friend Narahari Parekh, who was also from Gujarat, but both of them studied together. So Kishore Mashruwala has given a beautiful account. It's a long account I am not giving, but one word is notable, that unlike other students, Mahadev Desai was not interested in sports and all, but he had tremendous sporting spirit. He was loving, kind and gentle and genial to everybody, so much so that he was a very popular person, not only among his classmates but also among his teachers. One quality that distinguished him was that he was very hardworking, painstaking student, and he had a wonderful and beautiful handwriting. Then Mahadev Desai comes to Ahmedabad. We have heard about Gandhi has just landed in Gujarat in the early month of January 1915, and then Gandhi had set up an ashram in the Sabarmati basin. Gandhi had also circulated his ashram constitution, etc., etc. Narahari Parekh and Mahadev goes through that, and they wanted to meet Gandhi. In the month of July, 5th or 4th July 1915, both Narahari and Mahadev goes to the Sabarmati ashram. They meet Gandhi, and then they have a talk for a long time. Before this, Mahadev Desai had already secured first prize in Forbes Sabha for translating the famous book of John Morley on compromise from English to Gujarati. So he has already attained considerable fame, about which even Gandhi has heard. So he was very happy. Both of them talked to each other for a long time, and after about an hour they go back. While going back, Mahadev Desai is telling his friend Narahari Parekh that Narahari, I feel as if I want to spend my whole life at the feet of this man. Narahari says, yes, you must do that. Time passes. Then Gandhi tells Mahadev, please keep coming to the ashram whenever you are free, but don't be in a hurry to come and join me. First you see everything, and if it suits you, then only you come and join the ashram. So Mahadev keeps coming, and one day Gandhi is spending unusually long time with Mahadev Desai, and then he speaks to him a very big confession, it is called, and he speaks to him in adjectives and praises Mahadev Desai like anything. Here I just want to say one word. Gandhi is telling Mahadev Desai, I quote, I have found in you three outstanding qualities. They are regularity, fidelity, and intelligence. I have spoken like this only to two persons in my life. One is Magan Lal Gandhi, my own cousin who is the pillar of the ashram. The other person is Henry Kola, who was a great help to me in South Africa. The encomiums came and came and came, so much so that Mahadev Desai confessed in a long and confidential letter to his friend Narahari Parekh, saying that, once again I am now quoting from the letter which Mahadev wrote to his friend. I was sometimes tired of life and regarded it as futile, but now I have developed faith in myself and my own life. Bapu told me many things that I was really embarrassed. I have never received nor will ever I receive such a testimonial in life. Maybe, look at the foresight of Mahadev Desai. Maybe I shall be an instrument to achieve something in life, but this will remain with me as a lifelong treasure. Rajmohan Gandhi, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi, in his book on Mahatma Gandhi, has correctly said that this meeting between Mahadev Desai and Gandhi was providential as it gave a turning point to our Indian history. Then Gandhi tells him, I will be in Champaran because they have called me to Champaran. Please join me in Champaran. The consigned tears Mahadev Desai, the dutiful son, wants to get the blessing of his father and also the consent of his wife Durgabai. By the time Mahadev was already married, he was only 13 and his wife was just 12. But now they are grown. So they go to Champaran, and very soon there in Champaran, for the first time, Mahadev Desai is exposed to Gandhiji's Satyagraha. As all of us know, Champaran was the first stepping stone of Gandhi into Indian politics, where the Satyagraha began and ended in the freedom struggle. And then Mahadev Desai joins Mahatma Gandhi, and initially Gandhi says that let us all have constructive activities because it is badly needed in this village. So Mahadev Desai and his wife, Narahari Parekh and his wife, and some more people from Servants of India Society were all given the duties of hygiene, sanitation and imparting basic education to the villagers of Champaran. Sudarshan sir has written a beautiful book on hygiene and sanitation, which is very, very important, and I suggest that all of us, especially the young students, must read that book. And here, Mahadev Desai started writing what is called his diary. All of you must have heard about that Mahadev Desai is a great diarist and chronicler, and he started writing the diary exactly on 13th November 1917 and continued this habit of diary writing up till 14th August night of 1942. During this period, he has written more than 1,300 pages. You will wonder what did he write. Initially, he was not so experienced, so he will write whatever he saw, whatever he observed, whatever Gandhi said, whatever letter Gandhi dictated, even a symbol from Gandhi, he will note it down. But later on, he himself understood what I should do in my diary. He thought that I should concentrate only on Gandhi and write about what all is happening. So he wrote everything. Slowly, the diary became so popular that by the time 1942, we see that there are 23 volumes of Mahadev Desai's diary, all written in Gujarati, many of which have been translated in English but not all, and 3 more diaries need to be published still. So you can imagine how much he has written. Then, very interestingly, I came across one rare document of Gandhi where Gandhi has observed Mahadev Desai writing his diary and he wanted to say something about it. So he writes a direct letter to Mahadev Desai and tells him, so very interesting, not only for Mahadev Desai but a lesson for all of us. And I quote this small para. I quote, he says to Mahadev, self-surrender does not and should not deprive one of one's own originality. Self-surrender is not inertia. Self-surrender is energy. Too much reading has dulled your originality. Here he is criticizing Mahadev Desai. Too much reading has dulled your originality. Your motive in wanting to live with me is sincere. But if I always keep someone with me simply to see that all my activities are recorded, I may myself behave in an unnatural manner. What a great confession. I may myself behave in an unnatural manner. It is one thing that someone may remain with me to keep notes, but quite another to keep everything to a set purpose. However, he is ending like this. However, I want you always to be with me. So Gandhi's approval Mahadev Desai got. Since your grasp is so good and you are so well equipped, I would like you to understand my life and work. And if I had a man like you by my side, he could undertake my work in course of time. So you can imagine Gandhi is already thinking about who will be his heir, and that should be Mahadev Desai. So I think this is a very important compliment. Luckily, Mahadev Desai, I would say, passed the ordeal of fire. It's not easy to join Gandhi and to live with him. So it is literally a test of fire for him. And luckily for the sake of posterity, I would say, Gandhi's doubts vanished and Mahadev Desai started writing. Most history books compare Mahadev to that of the famous diarist in Western world, Boswell, who wrote a diary of Johnson, but there is a vast difference between who was Johnson and who was Gandhi. Desai wrote less about himself in his diary and more about Gandhi, his ideas, his principles, and the events that happened in India. From 1919 onwards, Gandhi became the undisputed leader of India's freedom struggle, and Mahadev Desai was always by his side. Then he started writing about Gandhi's food, Gandhi in jail, and Gandhi's satyagraha, Gandhi's various movements, and so many other things were noted. Not only that, but Gandhi's relationship between Sardar Patel, with Nehru, with Subhash Chandra Bose, and many things he has noted down in his diary. And most importantly, Mahadev Desai says that to me, Gandhi is a human being. That is what Gandhi himself said always. Don't compare me with God, I am not a God. I am an ordinary human being. Gandhi is a human being, yet he has the trait of a saint, and he is a saint and a statesman. That is what Mahadev Desai is saying. The impact of Mahadev Desai diary is so much that by 1942-43 we see that Sushila Nair, who was a younger sister of Caroline Nair, she wants to write a diary like Mahadev Desai. And Manu Gandhi, who was a cousin of Gandhi, also wants to keep a diary like Mahadev Desai. And luckily, both of them got the approval of Gandhi himself. And then after the death of Mahadev Desai in 15th February 1942, Parallel takes over. But one day, when Gandhi is observing the diary of Manu, which he will always see and correct if there is any mistake, he says, "Today, when I see your diary, I am reminded of Mahadev Desai." That is what Gandhi says. Let's come to what Mahadev Desai achieved as a journalist, because Nachiketa Desai has written about his grandfather as a journalist. Mahadev Desai was an outstanding journalist and editor. He received training and apprenticeship at the hands of Gandhi, and Gandhi taught him economy of words and how to follow moderation and how to always stick on the path of truth. You will not write anything sensational, you will just follow the path of truth. The slightest deviation from from Mahadev Desai will invite rebuke and even censure from Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahadev Desai was always very careful in writing whatever he writes in the Gandhian journals such as Young India, Harijan, Navajivan, and so many other things. And important to know that Mahadev Desai also wrote in the contemporary journals such as Hindu and Illustrated Weekly of India. This is very, very important. And Mahadev, one incident I came across and I found it very difficult to accept, but it shows the greatness of Mahadev Desai. During his travel in India's train, you can imagine how the Indian train would have been in the year 1942. Before that. So when he was traveling, it is said that after his master goes to sleep, Mahadev Desai will shut himself in the third class carriage compartment toilet, and he will complete the writings, because next day early morning he will have to dispatch his newspaper news to the in the wayside station so that it is published in the Harijan or Young India or whatever it is. So sincere he was. Mahadev Desai was also a born journalist, and he would write so fast and with such a beautiful hand. Beauty in handwriting and rapidity in handwriting is a very rare quality, but that Mahadev Desai had. Further, when Gandhi was dictating and saying something, if Mahadev Desai did not have a piece of paper in his hand, what he would do is that he will write on the palm of his hand, on the back of his hand, on the currency notes, and even on his fingernail, which he will go and write in the diary, and immediately he will see to it that the best of the best report and correct report has been given. Such is the hard work put up by Mahadev Desai. He attained excellence in journalism, particularly when in the year 1921, Motilal Nehrus and Nehrus were running a paper called The Independent. British repression was going on, and Motilal Nehru and Nehru were arrested. George Joseph was editor of the newspaper, and Motilal Nehru sends a wire to Mahatma Gandhi, telling him, please send me a good journalist because somebody must manage my paper called The Independent. We all are in jail. So Gandhi is calling Mahadev and telling him, please go and help. Please go to Allahabad and help Motilal Nehru. Mahadev Desai says no. Gandhi says, why? No, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be near you and continue my diary writing. Mahatma Gandhi says, no, you must go. He goes there, and then he pays one security. The second time that the security has been imposed on the Independent newspaper, he forfeits the security, and instead he did an amazing thing. The amazing thing was that he brought out a handwritten newspaper in 5 or 6 pages. Handwritten newspaper. Have you ever imagined or have you ever seen a handwritten newspaper? उन्होंने हाथों से लिखा पेपर को, beautiful handwriting उनका, and that newspaper he stood at the central court of Allahabad and sold it for the princely sum of rupees 300. Motilal Nehru and Nehrus and Gandhi, they were very, very highly appreciative of him. And then I come to the important point. The point is that Mahadev Desai has written hundreds of articles in the journals, Gandhian journals I mentioned just now, especially in India, Arijan and Navajivan. And many of these articles were also formed a part of the diary, and some of the accounts that he has written also got into publication. So among the important writings that Mahadev Desai has done, you may call it as the books published by Mahadev Desai. Many of you must be knowing, but still I have to mention. They are his account of the Ahmedabad mill strike, textile mill strike account, and then about the writer's struggle in Bardoli Satyagraha, and then he writes about Gandhi in the Indian villages, then he writes about Wardha, all are beautiful accounts, then he writes about Sevagram, then he writes monographical or biographical pieces on Abul Kalam Azad, then Abdul Ghaffar Khan, his brother Dr. Khan Sahib, and plus Mahadev has also written several other small monographs. Mahadev also had a Guruji, a spiritual guru called Bauji from Godhra in Gujarat, and about him also he wrote, and he also wrote about Kalan Baj, who was a very close friend and associate of Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa, who was an architect. So about him also he has written so many things. He has written about untouchables, so many things he has written, which are so enormous that it will take for us a long time to collect it and also to read it. But the one thing great about these books is that it has been written in an excellent idiomatic English, easily understandable to one and all. And they also give a correct account of what had happened in our Indian history. Then, as I said, Mahadev Desai also gave a beautiful account of Gandhi in London. In 1931-32, as you all know, Gandhi went to attend the Round Table Conference, and there also Mahadev Desai has given us an account which he sent to the Young India, but later on it got published as a book called Nation's Voice, and it was edited by J.C. Kumarappa and C. Rajagopalacharya. I was just saying that Mahadev Desai had a close relationship with Gandhi from Champaran Satyagraha, that is from 1917 to 1942. When somebody is having a 25-year-old relationship, emotions are bound to be attached to it. So I would like to, there are many events and many interesting examples, but I would like to give at least 2 or 3 examples which will show you the insight that Gandhi had of Mahadev and the insight that Mahadev had of Gandhi, and what a close relation and beautiful relationship it was. So one example is that in the year 1938, Mahadev Desai, Mahatma Gandhi, Kasturba, Mahadev Desai's wife and all went to attend the meeting of Sarva Seva Sangh which was held this time in a village called Delang, which is in the Puri district of Orissa, where the famous Jagannath temple is there. Mahadev Desai, as we all know, is a very kind, genial person. Durga and Kasturba expressed their interest that they want to visit the temple at Jagannath. So Mahadev Desai took these two plus one more lady called Kasi or somebody, and then they were also accompanied by Babla. But Babla is a very intelligent and literally grew up in the ashram, so he had the complete influence of Gandhi. When Mahadev Desai is taking all these people inside the Jagannath ashram, Babla is not going. He is standing outside the temple. Because he knows that Gandhi doesn't like entry into the temple, because the temple is practicing untouchability and evil according to Gandhi. Somebody reported to Gandhi that your close people had come to Jagannath temple. What do you say? Gandhi was terribly embarrassed. Have you all seen Gandhi angry? But this time Gandhi was really angry. His blood pressure shot up so much that he fired Mahadev Desai right, left and center. And that is a very interesting fight that occurred discussion that occurred between Mahadev and Gandhi. So the words that were used by Gandhi was so strong that next day morning he told in the meeting also, you know this Mahadev Desai, he has committed a mistake, he has committed a big blunder, he has violated the principle of us. All this he said it publicly. Poor Mahadev Desai, who is already sensitive and emotional by nature, roya. Literally he started crying. He cried so much that he called his son Babla, he called his wife Durga. He told them, come on Durga and Babla, let us go back to Dihe in our village. And I know farming, I will also teach you farming. Come, let us go. We will not stay. Literally Mahadev Desai said like this. And Babla was intelligent, though young. What was his reply? He said, Kaka, if you want, you go. I am not going to come. I will stay with Bapu. Aapko jana hai to aap jaiye. Surprisingly, Durga also said, what Babla is saying is correct. So this is what happened. And then Mahadev Desai writes a letter, a very emotional letter with lot of ifs and buts and all. And then he made a remark in which he says that you are making a mountain out of a molehill. All this kind of thing he wrote in that letter. And then Mahadev Desai also wrote one very nice sentence which I remember even today. It is that to live with saints in the heaven is bliss and glory. To live with saints in the heaven is bliss and glory. But to live with saints on earth is a different story. This is what he said. And then Gandhi tells him, I got your stupid letter, but I have torn it because it deserves to be thrown into the dustbin. Had you organized a Satyagraha movement including Kasturba and your wife and the ladies of the village and marched towards the Jagannath temple, I would have been very, very happy. I would have said that you have done honor to all of us. But you have acted in a cowardice. Your letter is stupid and your letter is foolish. Mahadev Desai was already walking, thinking that he is going back to Gujarat. Something happened to him, he came back, fell at the feet of Mahadev Desai, and then he wrote an article which was later on published in Harijan, of course with lot of censorship by Gandhi. Later on he wrote this letter, but he realized his mistake that who am I to judge Gandhi when what he says is absolutely clear, correct and true, and what I have done is absolutely wrong. In the year 1939, Mahadev Desai, can you all believe, Mahadev Desai was, a serious allegation was made on Mahadev Desai. People have been watching that he is writing so much diary, this, that and all, a popular figure, and so many accounts have come. And this time an article appeared in two sections, one in the month of September 1939, one in the month of October 1939, and the article was titled as Mahadev Desai's Secretary, a British informer. So an allegation was made on Mahadev Desai as if he was a collaborator and as if he was a British informer, a fifth columnist. It was all very gravosity of fact. It was made because Mahadev Desai innocently, he had written an article in which he had attached the articles to be published, articles of Gandhi which used to be published in just 2 days, and he also gave information that what was the Congress attitude towards the British government, which had already involved India without consulting the Indian leaders. Of course, the article did not have any foundation, so it died a natural death. But Mahadev Desai had to also undergo all this kind of things. Mahadev Desai, to put it in a simple word, was a glutton for one. That is what I feel. उनका जैसा कोई भी काम नहीं कर सकते. According to his son Babla, my father did not have any Sunday. My father did not have any vacation. My father did not have any free time. Even he came home very rarely, and we also rarely saw him. So you can imagine the kind of work that he was doing. Once Babla had a high fever. He was with his father at that time and Gandhi was there. The fever became so severe that Narayan Desai went into delirium. अपने आप बोलने लग जाता है. And in that he keeps on saying ma 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 like that. Manu Gandhi happened to come and sit near him. He touches her and says ma ma ma. Manu Gandhi got scared. दुर्गा तो यहाँ नहीं है, इस किसको बोलता है माँ माँ माँ. So she went and complained to Gandhi that something has happened to Narayan Desai. Gandhi saw the seriousness, called Mahatma. So in that telegram, Gandhi is saying, come over in. So when he wrote this letter, he is looking at Gandhi surprisingly and telling, why are you calling Durga? We all are there. I am there, you are there, Kasturba is there, Manu is there. Why are you calling Durga? Then Gandhi is telling him, look, I only told you to draft the telegram. I did not tell you to argue about the contents of the telegram. And so Mahadev Desai had to just obey. Gandhi told Mahadev, this is what, when according to the time and conditions, you will have to take your decision. According to Babla, Mahadev Desai had fallen ill twice seriously. Once it was in early 1938 when he was down with typhoid. Another time he was very sick at Nasik station before going to Varda. From Nasik station the situation was so bad that he had to be admitted to a hospital and then he was brought to Varda. So here the most emotional picture you can get. In Varda, it was Gandhi's day of silence. Gandhi is walking up and down in Varda because he has heard that Mahadev Desai is admitted to hospital. At night, Mahadev Desai was brought up. He was made to lie on a cot. Mahatma Gandhi is coming, running to him, puts his head on his lap, strokes his head fondly and asking, Mahadev, how are you? He broke his silence. It was a day of Maun Vratta. लेकिन गांधी ने उनसे पूछा, महादेव, how are you? Mahadev just opens his eyes and tells Gandhi, how nice it would be if God takes away my life just now. How nice it would be if God takes away my life just now. Look at the emotion of Gandhi and the emotion of Mahadev Desai. Such was the kind of man Mahadev. After a while, Mahadev continued his hard work. He refused to participate even in the individual satyagraha for which Gandhi had deputed him. The simple reason being he doesn't want to leave Gandhi and go away, and he was scared for Gandhiji's health, that Gandhiji may go to fast, this, that and all. So he doesn't want to go. One day Gandhi got so angry that he wrote a letter to him saying, a letter to Mahadev Desai, which says, shall we say you have a mania for work? Are you mad of work? Shall we say that you have a mania for work? That is why I had to write such a strong letter to you. And don't you know that if you were to be disabled, I would be like a bird without wings. I would be like a bird without wings. And then he says that if something happens to you and you become bedridden, I have to wind up 3/4 of my activities. If something happens to you and you are bedridden, I will have to wind up 3/4 of the activities. Remember the words coming from the mouth of Gandhi. So you can imagine how much of a work that he had done. Gandhi compelled him to go to Simla and take rest. Gandhi compelled him to go to another hill station also. He was ready to send him to South Africa also. But then Mahadev did not accept it. To make all this matters worse, because by that time the Second World War started, Gandhi was in tension, and then Gandhi's health was also not good. A very important thing happened. As you all know, on 11th February 1942, Jamnalal Bajaj died all of a sudden in Wardha. Gandhiji was very close to him, has already adopted him as the fifth son. That is what Bajaj wanted. And then earlier when he was not well, he was literally wanting for a spiritual mother. He tells Gandhi, I am missing my mother. Gandhi says that because as all of you know that he was adopted and then he happened to come to Wardha. So Gandhiji is telling him, imagine Gandhiji telling him, I will give you a spiritual mother. He says that you go to Dehradun. There is a famous ashram of Anandamayi Ma. She is supposed to be a very good and spiritual lady. You go to her, you will get peace of mind. So Bajaj goes there with his wife, spends 15 days there and ask her, what will happen to me towards the end? And when is my end coming? According to Janaki Bai, that is his wife's diary which has come out, which, the Anandamayi is saying that you will have 3 days. I can give you, but exactly I will not tell you on which day you will pass away. But still, Bajaj was happy that the days that he gave, and according to Janaki Devi, he died on one of the days. So on 11th February, he is dying, and then one more thing happened. Bajaj had already invited that Anandamayi Ma should come to Wardha. So she comes later on, of course, after the death of Bajaj, and then when Anandamayi comes, she is welcomed by everybody. And then Anandamayi suddenly announced us that in 6 months another great soul will pass away. 6 महीना में और एक great आत्मा का मृत्यु हो जाएगा. Mahadev Desai started shivering because according to him there is no other great soul other than Mahatma Gandhi. So he got very, very scared, and Gandhi himself was upset after the death of all these people. And then what happened in Aga Khan Palace prison, you all know, Mahadev Desai suddenly died, and even after Mahadev Desai is being pronounced as dead by the jail doctor as well as Dr. Sushila Nair, Mahatma Gandhi goes near him, fondles his head, put his head on his lap and tells Mahadev, arise. Mahadev, arise. 3-4 days later, Sushila Nair is asking him, Gandhi, why did you say like that? Bapu, why did you say like that? Gandhi says, because he has never disobeyed me. Because he has never disobeyed me. What to say of such a man who has done wonderful service for 25 years to one man, thereby to the nation and thereby to the freedom struggle. Can you call him secretary? I am struggling to find out what adjective you can use to describe the work of this man. Still, I am coming to a few findings of my inquiry. So just 2 minutes. It is very difficult to describe the multi-talented, versatile personality of Mahadev Desai, the most loving and kind person that God has ever created. It is a travesty of fact to call him as just a secretary. He was a complete secretariat and much, much more. He had no power. He had no bank account. He had no influence. He had no glamour. He had no political ambition. ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचा कि गांधी को कुछ होने के बाद मैं लीडर बनाए. ऐसा कभी नहीं सोचा उसने, because Gandhi himself told him, you be my heir. Still he doesn't want anything. He just wanted to serve Gandhi. And as he said, like an Hanuman to Sri Ram. मैं मेरे आप को हनुमान से कंपेयर नहीं कर सकता, but I want to serve Gandhi like an Hanuman to Sri Rama. He was close to many other leaders. Nehru, Sardar Patel and all were very fond of Mahadev Desai. His place in history is assured, even if he had not done anything, for his journalism and his writing work. So self-effacing, so egoless, so busy he was that he had no time to be mean. वो कभी mean हो ही नहीं सकता, इतना busy था life में. And then his greatest service to his own generation, in my humble opinion, is that, and for posterity, is that he made Gandhi universally popular. A collection of all his writings, that is what I am trying to do. A collection of all his writings which I am trying to collate and then list it and make it as the collected works of Mahadev Desai should be an important tribute. And lastly, I would like to end by saying, you all know Swami Anand was one of the another great disciple of Mahatma Gandhi. Swami Anand has written a beautiful book in Gujarati. Sudarshan sir was the one who told me that you must read this book. Since it was in Gujarati, I did not know about it, but fortunately he guided me. And then a Hindi translation has come out. Nothing has come in English so far. Swami Anand is telling Mahadev Desai is the rose of the Mughal garden. He is the rose of the Mughal garden and the mulmul of Dhaka. What more compliment you can give him? Thank you all.
और आप लोगों के कोई सवाल है, विचार है या आप लोग कुछ साझा करना चाहते हैं तो आप लोग निमंत्रित।
पर्सनल हॉबीज जो महात्मा गांधी जी को मिलने के पहले आइडेंटिफाई था, जब यंगस्टर में वो थे, उनका जो करियर चल रहा था, तब उनका कोई पर्सनल हॉबीज था, ये कुछ फाइंडिंग हुआ क्या, ये मैं जानना चाहता हूँ।
To the best of my reading, Mahadev Desai was a very straightforward person. He was very fond of reading and he was very fond of writing. And as a student, I had already said that he was not particularly interested in sports and all, but he had a great sporting mind. And personally, I will say that he has just inherited the culture of his family, culture, refinedness of his family, devotion to God, reading of Gita, reading of the Ramayana, and reading. And Mahadev Desai was very fond of reading. In Sabarmati Ashram, we have at least 10 cupboards which has the books collected by Mahadev Desai. Many of the books which I had the fortune to open and see, Mahadev Desai हर जगह margin में लिखा हुआ है, yes I. So I will say that he was the heart of the intellectual operation of Mahatma Gandhi against British rule. And habits are all good habits, no bad habits at all. ऐसा नहीं कि वो गांधी के पास आने के बाद सुधरा, ऐसा नहीं है. So he was already great. Yeah, I mean a good man and becomes a great man. So I wanted to convey my grateful thanks to the most distinguished member of the Jain family who has bestowed me with this research fellowship, and it is proving to be of great use. Thank you, madam.
कभी कभी लगता है कि लिखने पढ़ने वाले करते क्या है, सवाल खड़ा हो जाता है कभी कभी। तो दुनिया के सामने इन चरित्रों को प्रस्तुत कौन करता है? तो और गांधी जी के साथ एक और तकलीफ ये है कि वो ऐसे सूर्यमंडल की, वो खुद ही सूर्य है और उसका जो सूर्यमंडल है उसकी आभा है, उसमें सभी लोग छिप गए। तो प्रोफेसर प्रभा ने जो है वो ऐसे ऐसे छुपे हुए तारों को ढूंढ के निकाला है और उनके बारे में लिखा है। ये कोई बहुत अंग्रेजी का शब्द यूज करूं तो कोई ग्लैमरस काम नहीं है। तो ये तो उन लोगों को आप तक लाना है जिसकी वजह से इस सूर्य के अपनी मंडल की आभा बनी थी। गांधी अपने साथ ऐसे दर्जनों लोगों को इकट्ठा कर पाए थे, वो उनकी शक्ति थी। और ये देखना कि हरेक अपने व्यक्तित्व का सबसे अच्छा विकास उनके होते हुए करे। बरगद के पेड़ के नीचे कुछ पलता नहीं है, कुछ उगता नहीं है, ऐसा कहते हैं, पर गांधी एक ऐसा बरगद था जिसके नीचे बहुत सारी चीजें उगी और उग करके जो है वो पल्लवित हुई और उन्होंने जो है इस देश के इतिहास में बड़ा नाम दिया। एक और किताब शायद कहीं या नहीं कहीं भूल रहा हूँ, गांधी जी के अफ्रीका के समय में मद्रास में एक मित्र थे जो काफी अपने आप में बड़ी हस्ती, पब्लिशर बने। बाद में सब लोग सरकारी नौकरी ढूंढते थे, इस आदमी ने जो है वो पब्लिशिंग का काम किया। उसका नाम G.A. नटेसन था। उस नटेसन को ढूंढकर, उसके बारे में ढूंढकर भी उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी, बड़ी सुंदर किताब है। H.S. पोलक की तो बात हुई जो गांधी के मित्र थे। उन्होंने ऐसे पात्रों को चुना है। महादेव भाई के पात्र को चुनना तो चुनौती है, क्योंकि गांधी के साथ ये आदमी ऐसा गडमड हो गया है कि उसमें से, उस सारी कहानी में से महादेव को निकाल के प्रस्तुत करना बहुत कठिन है। तो ये काम प्रभा जी ने किया है, जो बहुत सुंदर काम है। कुछ उच्चारण तो भाषा दोष के कारण है, वो मैं ठीक कर देता हूँ ताकि हम लोग सब वो उच्चारण ठीक जाए। नारायण जो है, बचपन में नारायण देसाई को, वो गुजराती शब्द है इसीलिए प्रभा थोड़ा गड़बड़ा गई। बाबलो या बाबला, बाबला का मतलब बच्चा होता है गुजराती में, तो नारायण का नाम प्यारा नाम बाबला था। तो ये जब बबलो की बात हुई, वो बाबला की बात हो रही है। और नारायण देसाई अपनी गांधी कथा में कहा भी करते थे, जलगांव में भी कर चुके, जानते हैं नारायण देसाई। और एक और बात मैं यहाँ इस समय इस अवसर पर बोलना चाहता हूँ, इसमें गांधी रिसर्च फाउंडेशन की अपनी सोच और समझ भी है कि हम ऐसे संशोधकों और विद्वानों को बुला करके काम करने को कहते हैं, ताकि हमारा भी एक ये विषय है कि गांधी के आसपास जो थे उन लोगों के बारे में भी हमको लिखना जानना है। महादेव देसाई का पात्र उसी जीआरएफ की परंपरा की कड़ी। नचिकेता जो मेरा अभिन्न मित्र रहा जिंदगी के 50 साल, पिछले साल में गुजर गया, जिसने अपने पिताजी के बारे में, वो खुद पत्रकार था, इसीलिए उसने अपने पिताजी को पत्रकार के स्वरूप में देखा और उसके बारे में जो किताब उसने लिखी है उसका भी काम जीआरएफ में हुआ है। वो भी जीआरएफ की फेलोशिप में था। तो प्रभा जी का काम जो है उसी सिलसिले में एक और कड़ी जुड़ रही है। तो जीआरएफ जो है एक और सेवा जो है समाज की कर रहा है कि सातत्यपूर्ण ढंग से हम गांधी जी के साथ वालों को भी लेकर के दुनिया के सामने प्रस्तुत करने में मदद करें। महादेव देसाई के बारे में ये सवाल पूछा गया कि आने से पहले क्या थे। आने से पहले बहुत कुछ थे। गांधी से जब परिचय हुआ तब उनकी उम्र 25 साल की थी। वो और कंफ्यूजन दूर कर दूं, प्रभा जी ने कहा कि वो 13 और 12 साल के थे, पर वो उनकी शादी की उम्र थी। चंपारण में तो महादेव 25 साल के हो गए थे और उनकी पत्नी 24 साल की थी। एक दुर्गाबाई 1 साल छोटी। हाँ नहीं ठीक है, थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन दूर कर दिया मैंने, ताकि आपने वो दोनों जोड़ दिया तो लोग सोचेंगे कि वो बचपन में आ गई। नहीं, हाँ बस ठीक है, वो तो मैं हिंदी में बच्चों को समझा रहा हूँ। ये मेरी तो क्लास लगती है ना, रोज बच्चे हैं मेरे। खैर, वकील थे पर बेकार वकील थे। नरहरि परीख और महादेव देसाई दोनों कॉलेज के मित्र। अनुवाद का काम, साहित्य का काम, ये महादेव की खासियत थी। और महादेव उस समय टाइम्स के पत्रकार और एडिटर के साथ बंबई में जुड़े थे और उसने अपना लिखा है महादेव के बारे में कि ऐसा मुझे पत्रकार जो है वो मिला नहीं है अभी तक, ऐसा बच्चा। मतलब बहुत छोटी उम्र थी, युवा उम्र थी उनकी। तो महादेव कहीं भूल से अगर गांधी से न मिले होते तो वो निश्चित तौर पर एक बहुत बड़े गुजराती साहित्य के साहित्यकार होते। दूसरा, बांग्ला भाषा पर उनका इतना प्रभुत्व था कि उन्होंने बांग्ला गीतों का सुंदर गुजराती अनुवाद किया है। इतना सुंदर है कि पता नहीं चलता कि ये मूल बांग्ला है कि मूल गुजराती। अनुवाद की श्रेष्ठता तब पता चलती है जब अनुवाद पढ़ने से मूल लगता है कि भाई ये तो महादेव की कृति लगती है। इतनी महारत जो है हासिल की थी महादेव ने बांग्ला भाषा पर, उसका इतना प्रभुत्व था। तो ये वैसे ही असाधारण प्रतिभाशाली युवक था। और दोनों जो है बैठ करके अहमदाबाद में एक किताब सेंटर था, वहां बैठा करते थे, गप मारते थे, क्योंकि दोनों वकील प्रैक्टिस करने आए थे। वकालत तो कोई वकालत चल नहीं रही थी, बेकार थे दोनों। और सुना कि ये कोई महात्मा आया हुआ है, गांधी आया हुआ है, तब वो कोचरब आश्रम में, तो पहुंच गए मिलने के लिए। चलते चलते गए थे। वो एलिस ब्रिज पुराना है उससे, अभी तो एलिस भी विवेकानंद हो गए हैं, क्या करें। पर जो भी है, तो इससे अच्छा विवेकानंद बांध दिया होता तो अच्छा था, पर एलिस को ही विवेकानंद बना दिया है। ठीक है, वो हमारा विषय नहीं है, पर जो भी है। ये दोनों चलते चलते गए। गांधी ने समय दिया था, गांधी तो समय का बड़ा पाबंद आदमी था। 1 घंटा या 1.5 घंटा दोनों ने बिताया और वापस आते हुए दोनों मित्र सड़क पर चलते हुए चर्चा करते हैं। थोड़ी गुजराती में है बात, अच्छा लगेगा, अनुवाद भी करूंगा। नरहरी पूछता है, महादेव तने શું લાગે છે? और कि तुझे क्या लगता है? दोस्त करते हैं ऐसी बात, 25 साल के दोस्ती में जैसे हमारे लोगों पर बात करते हैं। महादेव कहता है, મને તો આ માણસની ચરણોમાં બેસી જવાનું મન થાય છે। मुझे तो इस आदमी के कदमों में बैठ जाने का दिल करता है। ये शुरुआत है और ये अंत है। तो महादेव के खुद के इतने प्रतिभाशाली होने के बावजूद गांधी में इस छवि को देखना कि ये तो ऐसी विभूति है कि जिसके चरणों में बैठा जा सके, ये महादेव की कहानी है। तो मैं इनको अभिनंदन इसीलिए देना चाहता हूं कि किताब तो पूरी हो जाती जब ये मुझसे मिली, काम तो बहुत कर लिया था। मैंने कहा ऐसा करो, जीआरएफ में आ जाओ, देख लो कुछ और मिलता है। तो उन्होंने स्वीकार किया और यहाँ हमारे पास आई, और अभी उन्होंने जो प्रस्तुति की है उसमें जीआरएफ में भी उन्हें क्या और सामग्री मिली है उसका उल्लेख भी उन्होंने किया है। तो यहाँ उनका काम थोड़ा और समृद्ध हुआ है, उसका हमें भी संतोष है। और उसका लाभ जो है वो सार्वत्रिक पढ़ने लिखने वाले जगत को होगा। ये हमारी सिद्धि जो है इस फेलोशिप के जरिए है। इसीलिए जीआरएफ की रिसर्च फेलोशिप हमने बनाई है, ताकि ऐसे लोग जो काम करते हैं वो यहाँ शांति से आएं, सामग्री देखें, पढ़े लिखें और अपना काम करें और उन विचारों को सामने प्रस्तुति करें। थोड़ा हम लोग कोने में पड़ जा रहे हैं। मैं देख रहा हूँ कि यूनिवर्सिटी से कोई नहीं है। अब यूनिवर्सिटी के शिक्षकों को यहाँ होना चाहिए था, समाज विज्ञान के तो लोगों को तो आना ही चाहिए था, पर भविष्य में हम और ज्यादा ख्याल रखेंगे। तो बात सिर्फ इतनी थी कि गांधी के जो साथी थे उनके बारे में भी इतना विशद अभ्यास हो सकता है, हुआ है, उसका ये उदाहरण है। और हम इस पर अपना सब संतोष व्यक्त करें, प्रभा जी को अभिनंदन दें, और हम सब जो हैं इस बात पर उनका अभिनंदन देते हुए उनको जो है संस्था की तरफ से उनका सम्मान करें। तो आयुषी, मैं चाहूंगा कि गीता बहन और अंबिका जो है वो उनका सम्मान करें। महादेव के बारे में इतनी अच्छी बात कही, इसमें हम सब में भागीदार हुए। मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कुछ लोग शहर से जिन्होंने महादेव भाई पर काम किया है वो यहाँ हैं। मुझे लगता है कि उनको भी आनंद आया होगा कि ऐसा अच्छा काम यहाँ हो रहा है। तो आप उठते पहले प्रतिभाव देने के लिए तो अच्छा था, अब थोड़ी समय की मर्यादा है, तो आप आएंगे तो आइए। आप हाँ हाँ आइए आइए। हाँ नहीं, पहले आप एक आप पूछिए, पहले आप पूछिए।
वो बार महादेव भाई नाराज होकर गए, आपको जिसे रिफ्रेश हो गया, तो उसका डिटेल नहीं है, क्योंकि हमने रामू रामनाथन का नाटक महादेव भाई किया है, उसमें वो रेफरेंस है और उसका कारण नहीं है।
नहीं, एक तो ये कारण हुआ।
अभी आपने एक कारण बताया, वो हमारे लिए नया, और एक बार वो नाराज होकर गए। नहीं केम बैक मतलब चला गया, इज नॉट स्मॉल।
नहीं, he didn't go away, but you know they add that you are talking about that individual सत्याग्रह।
हाँ वो चले, उसका कारण नहीं पता, और वो झगड़ा करके गए थे।
गए नहीं सर, as far as to the best of my knowledge।
वर्दी
नहीं,
दो बार हुआ है ये।
नहीं, second time क्या हुआ? He said कि I am not going to go for individual सत्याग्रह because I am not going to leave you and go from you. My friends are also saying that I should not leave you alone. So then Gandhi ji is telling him, it's not what you say, what your friends are saying, it's not necessary that you should listen to. But now that you have already decided that you are not going to go for individual satyagraha, I don't want to say anything. So there the matter is.
ठीक है, आप इसकी खराई कर लीजिएगा। अग्नि कुंड में उगेलू गुलाब, मैं नहीं मतलब क्या
पूरा पढ़िए, इसलिए मैंने पूछ लिया।
हाँ बस बस, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
करने का कारण पहला पता चल गया।
नहीं, उन्होंने बताया भी कि इंडिविजुअल सत्याग्रही होने से उन्होंने मना किया, इसीलिए सबसे पहले विनोबा जाना है। आइए।
नमस्कार। आज का जो सेशन हुआ उससे जो अपने को जो मालूम नहीं था महादेव भाई क्या थे, गांधी जी का उनके साथ में क्या रिलेशन था। रिलेशन मतलब वो एक उनका एक आत्मा ही थे शायद। महादेव भाई जो है, हमारे जो डायरेक्टर है मिस्टर रमेश भोड़े, महादेव भाई के बारे में और जीवन में हमने एक नाटक यहाँ किया था महाराष्ट्र राज्य नाट्य स्पर्धा में, वो मराठी में इन्होंने अनुवाद किया था। इनके लिए एक बार तालियां हो जाए। हम उस पर मैं खुद सरदार वल्लभ पटेल का रोल किया था और जो नाटिका थी 2 अंक थे हमारे, उसमें पूरा इन्होंने हमको डायरेक्ट किया था और महादेव भाई के बारे में जो भी जानकारी थी वो इन्होंने बताई थी आज मैडम के साथ में। और शेयर करते हुए हमें बहुत खुशी हुई कि अच्छा सेशन यहाँ चल रहा है। धन्यवाद।
तो आप सबका संस्था की ओर से, जीआरएफ की ओर से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। प्रभा जी को धन्यवाद, रविशंकर जी को धन्यवाद कि यहाँ आए कम से आराम से, मतलब कि देखने के लिए कि भाई हमारी स्कॉलर कर क्या रही हैं वहाँ पर। तो हमारे लिए भी आनंद की बात है कि उन्होंने भी इस कार्यक्रम में हाजिरी दी है और जो जिन्होंने महादेव भाई के ऊपर जो नाटक किया है, आप सभी इस जिज्ञासा से आए कि भैया उसमें क्या और है। तो इसके लिए हम आपका बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं। और मुझे लगता है कि अगर ये नाट्य मंचन हुआ है तो ये नाटक लिख करके कहीं छपा भी होगा, अच्छी साहित्य हाँ बस है। तो नहीं मैं हाँ बस मैं पूछना इसीलिए चाहता हूँ।
पहला रामू रामनाथन ने
हाँ वो मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ,
न्यू एडिशन,
ये जानकारी
नहीं,
ये जानकारी मेरे बच्चों के लिए ज़्यादा जरूरी है कि वो फिर लाइब्रेरी में जाके उसको निकाल करके पढ़ें। तो महादेव भाई अब मराठी में भी उपलब्ध हैं, तो उसको सिर्फ अग्नि कुंड में उगेलो गुलाब में मत फंस जाइए। उनकी जो है वो नाट्य जो हुआ है उसमें भी जो है उनकी स्क्रिप्ट हमारे पास अच्छी सी है, तो आप सब वो भी देखिएगा। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इस कार्यक्रम को हम संपन्न घोषित करते हैं। नमस्कार।